during my routinely Twitter toilet time while I'm busy alleviating myself and perusing Twitter, which is basically all Twitter's actually good for. You see constantly from streamers, I hit this follower goal. All these follows are amazing. Pog, amazing follows, pog. And I don't want to diminish that followers are important to your channel. I'm here to make the counter argument that they shouldn't be the only thing you focus on. So let's go ahead and dive in. Before we get into this video, we do stream almost every day live on twitch.tv/NedleyTV. Go ahead and give that a follow as well. It's funny that I'm saying that as I'm talking about how followers aren't the only thing you should ever focus on, but go follow there so you can know when we go live, so you can see what we're doing, and definitely join in the community, man. Discord links will be down in the description below. If anything in this video helped you or you just enjoyed it, period, don't forget to give the channel a subscription on here on YouTube. Give that video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have any questions or thoughts. I'm more than happy to answer any of them, and let's go ahead and dive on in. Every day you go on Twitter, and I'm guilty of this as well, you get wrapped up in the follower gains, and the follower gains are important for a number of reasons, right? It's the number of people that have clicked the button, that have said that they want to hear maybe more from you eventually, but realistically that's all it is, right? It's kind of like a bookmark tab for your Google Chrome browser. You're not always going to go back and look at it. In fact, you may not half the time. You may every once in a while to go check in, but all in all, it's kind of just a hey, let's check this out later button, and that's about it. Just because you got that follower notification pop and you get hyped, and you should be hyped, that is one more impression that you'll make on somebody down the road to whenever you go live to come and check out the channel, which is awesome. But the whole goal of once they hit that follow button, your goal should be to try to convert them into a member of your community. And what does that mean, right? What does that mean? So you want to make them an active member in chat. So the number that I care actually more about, and I always kind of had this mentality whether I realize it or not, is I have always cared more about the concurrents, right? Concurrents are the people who are actively there, who are actively watching. They may be lurking, they may be watching, they may be chatting, right? But those are the numbers that you want to see. Those are the people that are actively tuned in, consuming the content one way or another. So the whole goal of whenever there's a new person that hops in is to try to get them to become a part of whatever it is you're doing, become a part of your community, right? And you can do that in any number of ways. You can directly engage with that follower as well. You can just call them out and ask them how their day is. What are they doing? What are they enjoying? How did they find you? Really, that's kind of the question that I ask a lot, because I'm curious about how the Twitch algorithm actually works. Is how did you actually find the channel? Because I mean, let's face it, I'm never sitting up at the top of any sort of game chart unless it's Doki Doki Literature Club. Let's be honest, guys. So I'm always curious about how they found the channel. So that's normally the question I go to. That and how's your day? And I kind of throw in a little bit of a thanks in there, like, you know, dude, thank you for the follow. Welcome to this awesome community. You know, we are going to, hopefully I can make your day at least a little bit better today. And if I can do that and provide that value, then I've done my job, right? Something to that effect, right? You kind of want to keep that person onboarded. I'm making this sound super political. You kind of want to keep that person engaged with the community as well, so that way they're more likely to come back. A lot of people just kind of hit that follow button, and I've done this as well. You hit that follow button because you're going to go check it out later, and you kind of walk away and never go back. And then they just have a huge list of follows, but they only watch 2 streamers, right? You want to become one of those 2. So you're going to have to do this in numerous ways. You're either going to be doing it through your gameplay, but realistically what Twitch, as we've talked about before in previous videos, excels at is the interaction with the one-on-one viewer, right? So this comes back actually to why chat is so important. If you have a nice welcoming chat, guess what? They're more than likely going to stay, because you know why? They're not going to be tossed around like a new troglodyte that they potentially could be, and actually be welcomed into the community by a bunch of people who are also here in the channel, just having a good time, vibing with the streamer, vibing with the content, and just overall having a great experience, right? And that also comes from the streamer. If the streamer is having a bad day, guess what? Your retention level for maybe that new follower is going to be down in the dumps. If you're following somebody if they seem like that something's off, I would recommend coming back maybe in a day or 2. They could just be having a bad day. I kind of am the proponent of, if you're having a bad day, you probably shouldn't be making content. Everybody can tell when somebody's having a bad day. So, but you never know what's happened, right? You never know the context of the circumstances. Now that's a lot of the time asked. So if there's something that you may potentially be there for, maybe go check it out again later. Anyway, once you can keep them engaged with the content long enough, keep them engaged with yourself as your personality, interact with them, they're more likely to come back, which is why that concurrent number is actually so important, right? Once you hit that affiliate mark of 50 followers, 3 concurrents, and a certain amount of stream time, your follower need is kind of gone. Twitch does evaluate that when pushing for partner, but you can have 750 followers and be partnered because you have those concurrents and you have that community and you have that support, and it's something that Twitch wants to get behind, right? After that, your kind of follower number becomes unimportant, which is why the love of the higher follower numbers always has kind of confused me, right? You can pop into channels that have 1,500 followers, and realistically, and the way that I kind of attribute this to is the grind, right? You can grind for follows, you can do giveaway for follows, you can do any number of ways to incentivize people to hit that button and then never engage with the rest of your content. And that always is kind of like the tricky bit, right? Is trying to figure out how to get them to stay. And you tend to see the winning personalities rise above the rest. I always think that my content is kind of bad, and it probably is. So let me know in the comments below if it is or not. But there's something to be said about that, focusing on the concurrent number. My goal is to keep as many people actively engaged in chat as much as possible, and that should be the mentality of anybody who's trying to have that growth, right? If you show that you're having a great community and a great time with your chat and the rest of your community, and you do things outside of it, whether it be on Twitter or Discord, community nights are a great way of bringing people back. It makes them feel involved. And honestly, since we've started doing community nights every Saturday with Jackbox, shameless plug, you tend to see more of those people come back, right? They enjoy the content and they enjoy that just I say one-on-one, but it's more like the group personality that kind of emerges from the streamer's channel. It makes everybody come back no matter what you're playing. This is, you know, for variety streamers, this is kind of an important key because you're not growing off of one game. You're growing off of you, and that's the hardest thing to do. So I would recommend to try to focus on those concurrent numbers whenever you're streaming. Followers are great. Like I said, it's another impression. Whenever Twitch notifications decide to actually work, it's just another impression, and that's a very useful thing. But let's kind of pull back from the loving of the follow numbers, and let's pull forward the concurrents, because the concurrents are what's going to matter at the end of the day. So that's kind of my thoughts on that follower needing. It's good to have a lot of followers, but at the end of the day, if nobody's coming back, maybe you need to rejigger something. So that's kind of my talk on the concurrents versus the follower things. Once again, we do stream live every day on twitch.tv/NedLeeTV. Go hit the subscribe button up in the corner in the YouTube channel. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't, honestly. And if you thumbs down it, tell me why you did, just so that way I can know for personal feedback, guys. Leave some comments down below. I do read them all. Discord links will be down there if you want to hang out with some good people. We are going to get out for tonight. I will talk to you all later. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Goodbye.